Brought to you by Penguin.
The Survivor. How I Survived 6 Concentration Camps and Became a Nazi Hunter, by Josef Lewkowicz and Michael Calvin. Read by Laurence Dobiesz. This book is dedicated to the blessed memory of Tuvia, who was so tragically taken from us by an accident. May it be a merit for him. Foreword by Rabbi Naftali Schiff with Jonathan Kelmus. A starved, enslaved, and beaten teenage boy surviving 6 major Nazi concentration camps is nearly unheard of. This book is already unique for that alone, and it will keep you asking, how? How an orphan, alone, surviving by stealing potato peels and scraps, humiliated by his captors who have murdered his entire family, resists the precipice of Nazi degradation by maintaining his humanity with a mantra, I must not become an animal like them. Could a person do any more? He does. Although emaciated, he protests against cruelty by finding the compassion to risk his life and feed fellow starving prisoners, an entire barracks of them. That he also rebuilds his life after the Second World War, we could be fooled into thinking this story's beautifully powerful messages have a simple arc. How this same boy swaps his striped camp pajamas for a United States Army intelligence uniform to net the most infamous mass murderer of Nazi Germany is the stuff of epics. Meet Josef. There are rare moments in relatively few people's lives when they discover something that almost no one else in the world knows, but should be brought to the world's attention. When I met Josef Lewkowicz and heard about his mostly unknown story in 2018, I knew it must be told. Josef repeatedly proclaims, I am a zero, not a hero. Yet he brought to justice the most well-known concentration camp commandant, Amon Göth, made infamous by the film Schindler's List. The eminent historian, Professor David Crow, describes Göth as one of the true monsters in Nazi Germany's devastating war against the Jews. But exactly how he was unmasked after the Second World War has hitherto been shrouded in mystery. Josef has a near-flawless memory of his role in this critical history, but he possessed not a single document of evidence to prove it. Only an intriguingly unique photograph of that Nazi mass murderer under arrest, which no museum, archive, or anyone else in the world seemed to have. This, along with a portrait of Oskar Schindler, signed by the man himself, to my dear friend, Josef. The breakthrough to prove Josef's story should be credited to the work of Jonathan Kelmus. A filmmaker, journalist, and colleague, he sifted through 100,000 documents to build the essential evidence base to historically verify Josef's past. Jonathan should also be solely credited for the new history unveiled in this book about the capture, identification, and eventual trial of Amon Göth. But it was the book's author, Michael Calvin, who has diligently woven this research with artful brilliance into stunning historical storytelling, and greatly expanded it to produce a masterfully compelling and complete autobiography by adding the many other aspects of Josef's thankfully long life. The book is true to Josef's voice and spirit, and it has been an honor to see our idea for this work realized by a best-selling yet genuine and humble master wordsmith, whom I've come to know in Michael. There is much more to Josef's story than solving an historic mystery. It shows he played a key part in defining our humanity, how civilization responds to evil on a monstrous scale, and how, we believe, we can collectively continue to keep millions of us safe from it in the future. There is a terrifying alternate reality that almost happened after the Second World War, but for the moral fortitude and daring shared by Josef and enough other people.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?